Hey everybody, Chris Delian here for Game Keto, along with my cat Edie here in the background. What Edie and I would like to talk to you about today is making sure that when you're doing something, and as always, game development's kind of what I'm focusing on, but when you're doing something, are you just getting more comfortable at it, or are you really getting better at it? Because oftentimes there's a mistake for learners where they'll confuse those two. They'll think that because they're getting more comfortable at it, they're getting better at it. Sometimes getting comfortable at something is a step towards being able to get better at it, because maybe that's what was holding you back from practicing. Sometimes getting comfortable is a sign that you've gotten better at it, because you're no longer embarrassed to show your work. But they don't necessarily mean the same thing. And if you get comfortable and stay comfortable at something, oftentimes what it really means is that you've hit a plateau, that you've stopped learning, you've stopped progressing, you've stopped increasing your skills. You're maybe expanding out broadwise, doing more different things, which that's a good base of experience. If you want to improve at something, you need to do some other things beyond just doing it. You need some sort of outside test, some sort of outside feedback. That could come from playtesters or sort of people who don't work on the craft themselves giving you feedback from the outside. That could come from other developers that you find online or in your local network to help maybe pinpoint some things you could do a little better. That can come from just straight up study, straight up research. There's plenty of books out there. There's plenty of things written on the web. There's plenty of tutorials to follow. Just because you're past the beginner level of stuff doesn't mean that you're past learning. There's always more to be learning. There's always someone else who's done more advanced things than you, more sophisticated things, or done things with a different style that you'd like to learn, to take on. Look for those. Seek them out. Continue learning. So learning from practice alone doesn't mean you're actually getting better at something. Oftentimes, the kind of things that we're doing as solo developers or small team developers are really in some ways trying to emulate the productive results of hundreds of people working in specialized roles. And obviously, like, what we do at an independent or hobbyist scale is never going to be at that exact same kind of look and feel and complexity. But what it does mean is that there's always so much more room for growth in any area you want to focus on. And when I'm working with my training clients on picking what is it you're trying to improve, how do you define success on what it is you want to get better at? And so for some people, it's writing more organized code or planning out a project more predictably, or doing more exploratory design prototyping that really stretches beyond ideas that came into a process. With whatever it is they're trying to get better at, you got to come up with what does success look like to you? How can you tell you're improving at it? If you're not focused on anything, it's just too many apples and oranges, too many variables involved. If you want to train on an area, you got to pick a focus. You got to pick why you're doing it. Past the beginning, past the fundamentals. We're talking intermediate, advanced level here, where you pick what is it you're after learning. What can you do to get yourself to be learning and improving at it, and then just putting in the work. And it doesn't always feel as good. It doesn't always feel as comfortable when you're learning. But of course, what it does is it elevates your position, so the next time you're working on something, you're more comfortable with something that used to what has stretched you, right? You're more comfortable going beyond. For that matter, you're more comfortable learning the next thing in the chain of learning. You've got that many more concepts, that many more skills, that much more experience, deeper in a specific area, that allows you to go on to more advanced tutorials, more advanced readings and writings related to that field. No matter what it is that you're learning or doing related to game development, there's always a way to be improving at it. The whole message today, all there is to it, is just to be conscious of, are you really getting better at it, or are you just getting more comfortable at it? So it's Chris Delian for Game Keto, and of course, Edie joining us today. Look forward to playing the games in the future that you're going to make. Thanks for taking the time to listen, and have more content for y'all soon.